Are you nervous, Ben?
I'm so nervous.
Hey, seriously, don't be.
Get dressed. You're playing golf today.
No, I'm not, Grandpa. I'm playing tennis.
You're playing golf, and you're going to like it.
What about my asthma?
I'll give you asthma.
All right, boys. Another week down, another good week of golf. We're going to talk a little bit about – I guess we've led with kind of some tour action over the last few weeks because things have gotten spicy. We had a major. Hallelujah.
Come on.
Yeah, and I think we're going to go a little bit off route. We're going to talk about some golf courses, and I think everyone loves a good gym. Our guest from the show, on our show, who's going to be in an episode later this week, Josh Bryans, used the term sleeper, and we do love that when you're planning a trip, a boys trip, or you're going out and playing on the weekend, finding that great value, finding that course that really, I guess, isn't always out there, but is still a grand time. So what we're going to talk about today is the best or your favorite course you've played that the general golf public may not have heard of. And there are so many golf courses. We were discussing this in our group chat that, like, I mean, there's an endless amount of good golf out there. It's just you got to be able to find it, and whether it's getting on or getting the right rate, there is a ton of good golf. And I think it's interesting how much stature like a tour event can bring to a course. Kieran, we were talking about we were at Aaron Hill's beds, Kieran and I, and would we have played Aaron Hill's had they not hosted a U.S. Open? Would we have made that trip?
Probably not.
Probably not. So what a course gets from the stature of a major tournament, or whether it's marketing through the tour, it's a lot. So let's go around the horn and dive into the best course that you have played that is maybe not known to the general public. Kieran, we'll start with you.
Yeah, I mean, this is a really tough one. I'm sure we could come up with, I don't know, 5 to 10 each.
Yeah.
But I'm going to go with a course down in Boca Grande, Florida, on the coast, Gasparilla Golf, part of the Gasparilla Inn down there. It's just really just a fun day of golf. The course sits on its own little island. You take a little bridge over from mainland Florida. And it's one of those courses where at every point on the property you can see the rest of the golf course. It's kind of really, they got creative to kind of squeeze 18 holes in on the piece of land, but palm trees everywhere. You can see the water from every hole. And what was it, Ben? Like 14 through 17, that 4-hole stretch
Phenomenal.
is up there with any of the 4-hole stretches that I've ever played.
For me, it might be my favorite stretch in the state of Florida.
And it was
awesome.
Yeah, it starts with a short par 3 where the ocean is all down your left-hand side and the green's kind of surrounded by a lake, in an overhanging palm tree on the tee. Man, it's just awesome. And then, the next two holes, I think, are a par 4 and a par 5 all along the water. And then you finish the stretch with a par 3 that kind of takes you back inland. That's with a canal to the left. So, yeah, just a beautiful layout.
Scalp's probably got 107 of these that he can throw away. So I'm gonna sit here and put him in the dugout and make him sweat a little bit and see if he goes back on a decision. Jack, what you got?
Yeah, I got a Fazio course I used to caddy at Cherokee Town and Country Club. Not so many people have heard of it, but it's probably in the top 20, top 30 courses in Georgia. But it's perfectly manicured. There's 36 holes out there, and since I caddied there, I've played them all. I've seen every shot on the course, and so it's just a fun course to go play because I've never seen it not in perfect condition. Even it plays throughout the year too. Since you're in Georgia, you can play it pretty much throughout the year. So I absolutely love it, and the clubhouse is sick. Just like an incredible, like, I don't even know what type of architecture, but it looks sweet. Just coming up 18, you can see it all. So it's really cool.
Yeah, so I didn't start really getting into golf until like 08, 09. Started knocking it around Champs Club, just some pretty basic Florida courses. And then in 09, me and my family went up to North Carolina, the Great Smoky Mountains, and I brought my clubs. And my granddad and I, we played this place called Sequoia National. It's a Robert Trent Jones course. It just opened that fall, prior fall. We played it in the summer. We played it in June. And it's like carved into the mountains. It was just as good as it gets. It was pure. It was memorable. You got holes that are, the elevation so absurd that you're hitting the ball. I'm 15 years old. I'm hitting the ball like 280. And I'm like, what in the world, man? Like, this is awesome. So that was really memorable. Most people haven't heard about it, but it was pretty good.
I think, I'm still going to make Scalf sit there and think about it. Mine is actually in Charleston, just outside of Charleston, South Carolina. When I moved there, I had heard, like anyone who'd played golf, of Kiowa, the Ocean Course, 91 Ryder Cup. They have a whole resort there. It's an elite property. If you want to go and stay as a family, you can do that. You can go play golf. It's great. They've got a numerous amount of golf courses. What I didn't know is there's golf courses there outside of the actual Kiowa resort. It's two private tracks, and it's called the Kiowa Island Club. And I remember the first time someone threw that my way, I was like, yeah, the Ocean Course. And they're like, no, Kiowa Island Club. And it's two courses. It's the Cacique and the River. And the Cacique looks a lot like a kind of like a dunesy Irish course, but it's where the Kiowa River meets the Atlantic Ocean. And so you get some courses kind of on this river, kind of low country marsh, and then you get a couple holes that you can see out onto the Atlantic, and it's phenomenal. It's a Tom Watson design. I got to imagine it's one of his favorites, but obviously he fell in love with open golf, so you kind of get that vibe out there. You get some guys who will go out and play out there. Marino plays out there, and a lot of people who have second homes out at Kiowa will play out there. It's an all-timer. The Cacique course is got to be one of my favorites, and I had never heard of it. I'm assuming a lot of people haven't. But
I've actually heard of that one, Ben.
Really? Okay. Well, maybe I'm out on here.
Friend's uncle who's a member, but he's I think he's stupid loaded. Plays golf
distant friend's uncle.
Yeah.
All right, Andrew Scalf, what you got for us?
All right, so this was a little tough, not gonna lie, but because there are so many. I mean, I grew up in Florida, and I thought I had played just about everywhere. And in Jacksonville, I had played just about everywhere. But there's so many golf courses you've never heard of around the state that are just so good. And but we'll go to what I think is probably the best golf city in the state that's not named Jupiter, and that's Vero Beach. There are a couple golf courses there that are they're awesome. Like I could see myself becoming like a member there and just enjoying myself. But we'll go to Quail Valley. Quail Valley, it's a good bit off the coast, so there's no ocean view. There's nothing like that. No gimmicks. But the clubhouse is designed kind of after Shinnecock, so it kind of has that same vibe. It's up on this hill that you can see the whole golf course from the clubhouse. And you can see the clubhouse from anywhere on the golf course, vice versa.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's cool.
But once you get to hole 4, you can see pretty much the whole golf course outside of the first 3 holes. And it's just a really cool vibe. The golf course is usually in great shape, but just really fun, cool golf holes. As far as locker rooms go, maybe one of the most unique locker rooms I've ever been in.
That place is sick, Scalp. I've been.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They have just about every dead animal you can think of in there.
A polar bear.
Yeah, it's hilarious. But not just that. Like it's nice. It looks like it could be a freaking wedding venue on top of like a really sweet golf outing. So
you said Quail Valley
course, right?
Quail Valley.
Quail Valley, yeah.
They have a little like short chipping course to the right of the range.
Yeah.
The driving range is pretty neat. They also have like a separate side of the driving range. It's just a golf course. There's no homes anywhere on the golf course. There's nothing around the golf course.
You don't see that a lot.
It's kind of in the middle of nowhere. Once you drive onto property, you immediately see the clubhouse. It's just a cool spot. and it's something that I'd had no idea what it was until I started working with the FSGA, and it's definitely up there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Scalp, you mentioned something that reminds you of Shinnecock, and Ben, you mentioned Charleston. Bulls Bay in Charleston kind of gives me that same vibe where you got the clubhouse perched up on the hill.
Way up.
Fescue line in the fairways and stuff. That's another one that's pretty awesome.
So funny story about that clubhouse. Pretty sure the rumor is around when they built it, the guy who built it said, "What's the highest point in Charleston?" They gave him XYZ on the numbers. He goes, "Okay, build it 1 foot higher." So it's the highest point in town, at least I think as of when it was built. It was. It's vice versa. I don't remember whichever one came first. The other is now the highest point between Cacique and Bulls Bay. One of the tee boxes at Cacique is one of the highest points in Charleston, but then they built the clubhouse at Bulls Bay to be a little bit higher. But yeah, it's Bulls Bay kind of has that linksy vibe to it, whereas Fescue and it's very natural and rustic, and it's phenomenal. I feel like there's like golf like this, golf that you've never heard of for us, I feel like would be better outside the state of Florida. I feel like states elsewhere have the more of the hidden golf that I feel like not that we don't have all those like Indian Creek and everything else in the state of Florida, but like I feel like a lot of the solid golf out here we've heard of, just maybe because we've been here. But there's golf to be had everywhere. There's golf to be had everywhere, and there's good golf to be had everywhere, especially if you're on the PGA Tour. How about Dustin Johnson? Ridiculous.
Yeah. I thought I had to take this while watching the golf tournament this weekend, and I texted to you guys. I was like, why are these guys playing this course? I mean, DJ was like, I don't know, 22 under at the time and going on his like second round of 60. But you know what? It really wasn't that. It was just he was that good. He was like that good, that much better than the rest of the field. It was honestly just incredible.
Yeah. I watched a lot of golf, and I saw DJ hit one bad shot. And it was like a short-sided iron shot on like the hardest hole on the course. And I was like, all right, this dude's freaking striping it. That's why
he should have shot 59. He should have shot 56.
Yeah, can we talk about that real quick?
That's ridiculous.
Is there such thing as a bad 60?
That was a horrible 60.
Terrible 60.
The funny thing is, too, because he doesn't have the mentality that I think he got nervous. I think he just like didn't care. He just kind of kept playing,
He's probably shot 59 at his home course, so he's probably thinking, I've done it already.
Yeah, he doesn't care.
I just feel like, man, there's something, man. I feel like he puts on the facade of – but I still think, man, there's something in there that tightens up in some of these spots.
I don't know, man. But to be 11 under through 11, like – that's video games. I
really feel like if you don't care – then if DJ really truly didn't care and was as lax as we make him look, I think he would have shot 59. I think he'd have 4 majors. I think there'd be a whole lot more to his career than
that's a good point.
Than what we've got. I mean, you're telling me he's not tight when he shot 82 at Pebble Beach to lose a whatever shot lead going into Sunday was? Like, come on. Like I feel like DJ, although he looks one way, and I'm telling you, you've seen guys, you look so calm, cool. Like, I was shaking in my boots out there. It's like. They'll say it in their postgame, like I was nervous. DJ, I'm telling you, man, I think DJ gets tight in some spots, and I think this was one of them.
Yeah, there could be, but to make 2 eagles and 7 birdies in your first 11 holes and then par out,
it's like come on, dude, you
can't do that in a video game. That's insane.
Well, one thing about DJ is like I'm sure he gets tight. I think every golfer, maybe other than a few, gets nervous, but it's how you channel the energy.
I agree.
But I think with DJ, like his swing and his game sets up to where bad numbers can happen. He's been putting well and has a good short game, but he's not like Spieth where he can just – number one, Spieth hits it all over the yard, and he's not the longest guy out there. Dustin Johnson is one of the top 5 longest guys out there, and so it can go all over the yard, and he's not as good as saving it, and so there's double bogeys to be had. And you look at the times where he's like fallen off, it's a mental error, and I think a lot of times it's a mental error where he's just like he's not as sharp at making decisions on the golf course as everyone else.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you can chalk it up fully to him just being like, nervous when the big stuff rolls around. I think he makes more poor decisions than like most of your top 5, top 10 golfers.
I agree.
Yeah, it's almost like he's in cruise control, but in a bad way, to where he's he's not completely focused, or I don't want to say he's not focused, obviously, because you have to be focused to be a great golfer, but
It's
like he's not
things.
completely dialed in to everything that's going on. Yeah,
Like on 18 on Friday when he hit, I believe he hit driver on 18, and all he really needed to do was hit 3-wood, and his driver ended up putting him in a spot because it went too far into this little valley where he had an awkward lie, then he had to lay up. It's the same thing where at 10 at the PGA this year, where you literally cannot miss in this spot, DJ. Miss right if you're going to miss it all. And of course, it's just like the little things. And that was the difference between him and a PGA. That was the difference between him shooting 59. It's like, while it's not blatantly always that 80-plus round at Pebble Beach in the final round, I mean, there's the little things that are the difference of Colin Morikawa winning a major and DJ not shooting 59. So what do you think was a more important story? DJ dominating, getting back to world number 1, or us starting to lose Phil Mickelson as he goes back to the Champions Tour? What's more of a golf headline this week?
It's DJ Dom. I mean, he's second. That was the second lowest 72-hole score in PGA Tour history. That's just unbelievable. And he won by 11. It's not like everyone else just absolutely torched the place. Like out on the Korn Ferry Tour where you get guys 28, 27, 24. He was 11 strokes clear of anyone else. That's nuts. Now seeing Phil out on the Champions Tour, that's incredible. I think that's going to be a lot of fun to watch, and he'll probably destroy everyone. But what DJ did is just stupid.
Yeah, I agree. And the thing about Phil is we're not really losing him. Like all the big tournaments that he qualifies for, we're still going to see him play. So he's not gone for good yet.
Yeah. If we lose him, I hope it's to the broadcast booth, because then we're not really losing him.
Yeah, honestly, exactly. Champions Tour is great and all, but I would much rather see him on PGA Tour coverage.
Dude, $450,000 to the winner on the Champs Tour, though, man. That's like
Phil doesn't need the cash.
That's Phil's gambling money for the week.
Yeah,
he's got some debt somewhere. Yeah,
that's
Phil's
horrible.
probably got $450 of skin, man.
That's true.
Probably.
That's
Good
true.
point,
Speaking of money, Jack, let's make some money this week, shall we?
What does it mean to win $3.5 million today?
I didn't even know that until you just told me, so my day just got a little bit better.
Yeah, let's do it. All right, so a couple facts. Number 1, follow up with the little question from last week. We asked the question, does Tiger Woods have more non-win top 10s than Matt Kuchar has top 10s in general? And the answer is yes, by like 20.
Yeah, I was going to say it's probably by a lot.
Tiger has what, 80-some wins? He has 199. It might even be more than 199 top 10s. So he just is like, it's just ridiculous. And he doesn't even play that much. So
what did we establish? Kuchar had like what, 107 top 10s?
Yeah, Kuch had 107, and Tiger has at least 110.
So
non-win top 10s. So.
I just – but my theory was that Kuch had more top 10s than Tiger because Tiger converted his top 10s into actual wins.
Yeah, there was just so many top 10s that it doesn't even matter.
Yeah.
is what we learned.
Yeah, so that Kuch number still has been hard for me to wrap my brain around because, I mean, we established he won 9 times and it has 107 top 10s. You'd think the ball would fall a little bit more into the first place slot than it was for Kuchar, but still a solid career. It's a cash-making career. Jack, what do we got this week?
All right, sweet. We got 2 guys. 2 guys that are known pretty well. One is known by 2 letters. One is known by 1 name. JT and Webb, baby. Justin Thomas and Webb Simpson.
Justin Thomas has a FedEx Cup.
Oh, that's a good point.
Webb Simpson has a major. So does JT. But Webb Simpson has a major.
Webb's been on tour for a little longer.
JT's
It's just another one of those, JT's
major was
making
probably
money
worth
constantly.
Who wants to set the bar?
I got you guys.
Spieth is 41 million, and that's the bar.
That's the bar.
Spieth is our barometer.
I think they're both north of that.
No.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know, man.
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
I think
ready?
they are.
Ready? JT 38, Webb 39.
Well, Kieran
Dang.
actually is right because JT won the FedEx Cup. So I went back on my word of me saying that JT has a FedEx Cup. Jordan, wait, does Jordan Spieth? Did we establish that in 2015?
I would assume he won it then, but I have no idea, honestly.
Okay.
I have no idea.
I'm looking it up.
Yeah, I like JT 45, Webb 42.
Okay, so Jordan Spieth has a FedEx Cup 2015. You said, and he's at 41. I think he's got more money in the bank than JT. I'm going JT 39, Webb 46.
Ooh.
Oof. See,
Webb's been around for a long time, man.
Yeah, he has.
Yeah, he has. If we're using Spieth as our barometer, I mean, Spieth and JT came onto the scene about the same time, but JT's been, towards the top of the game for the last 4 or 5 years, and Spieth hasn't. So that's just more cash that JT's racking up. That's where I'm going.
Yeah, but wins.
I think JT. I'm going to put JT at 48 and Webb at 43.
You've got JT almost catching roars.
Have you answered yet, Ben?
Yeah, I said, what did I say? 39 JT, 45 Webb.
40, yeah, something like
Yeah.
that.
So Scalf is pretty darn close. Webb has Webb's been on the tour since 2007 when he turned pro, and he's just been racking up cash to the tune of 40.4 million, and JT is just shy at 37.5. JT has racked up a lot of wins in like lesser known events, but he's also won at the Tournament of Champions. He's racked up a major, a couple WGCs, and a FedEx Cup, but it just hasn't stacked up to what Spieth has done. Spieth, you forget, has like 13 wins.
Yeah. I mean, he rattled them off.
That's
it
actually
all
a lot.
So
that's
fast.
a lot more than I thought he had, to be honest with you. I thought he was like 8 or 9.
Yeah. And so it's just, there's still a little bit of a difference there. And Spieth has what? 3 majors, 4 majors?
Yeah.
And JT only has the 1. So that's kind of the disparity there. But as always, we got a little bonus question. There's a lot of fun stuff going on this week. And we'll get to that a little bit later when we talk about who I think is going to win, because I have a little bonus trivia question for later in the show, or I can throw it down now. So let's talk Webb Simpson. At the Olympic Club in 2012, Webb Simpson won his first and only major championship. He shot a 2 under 68 in order to edge these 2 players by 1 stroke.
Jim Furyk, maybe.
Bo Hostler.
Oh, yeah. That was a good one, Scalf.
I think he finished like 5th.
Yeah, he had a top 10.
I remember Furyk hit it left.
I'm trying to. He snap hooked one on 16. I don't remember if he ended up losing by 1 or more.
Yeah, I don't recall either.
Was it someone, right? Like Poulter?
Adam Scott?
You guys are talking about all people who are flirting in like the top 10. But
Furyk
there's
blew
2
it.
guys who finished T2.
Oh, man.
God, I don't remember.
2012. Who was playing 2012?
I'm going to say Kuchar's one.
Furyk finished T4.
Yeah, I figured
There's
Furyk
one
made like
name
triple on that hole. And
Because
and
Webb
was out of
posted
it.
a number. Webb posted a number, right? He was in the clubhouse.
Yeah, so starting off, tied for first, you had 2 guys, one of which finished T2. So starting the day off with the 54-hole
that
lead,
week.
it was Furyk and Graham McDowell.
Oh,
Really? McDowell?
yes.
Jeez.
McDowell ended up finishing T2, and then tying with him is Michael Thompson. Kind of came out of nowhere.
Huh.
I would.
Bammer.
Yeah,
Never
we weren't
never
getting
would have
that
gotten
one.
that.
Yeah, I didn't think you were going to get that one. But another little bonus here. Who were the low amateurs? All 3 of them are on the PGA Tour now.
Andy Zhang.
No.
What? He played.
Bo Hostler was actually tied with Webb Simpson going into the final round. And then he shot like a 76 or something and finished 2 strokes off of the low am.
Wasn't he 15 or 16 or something?
Yeah, he was a kid.
But yeah, who were the 3 amateurs that made the cut? All are on the PGA Tour.
Bo Hostler.
Spieth. I don't know.
Yes. Spieth.
Really? Okay.
Justin Thomas.
No. This is one of Kieran's like favorite golfers. He always talks about him.
Xander?
I talk about him?
I don't know if you Patrick Cantlay.
Oh man. I've picked him.
Yeah. So there's your
I pick him every week.
Yeah, Ben picks him every week.
He doesn't do squat when I pick him.
Hostler's a Texas boy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was like Spieth and Hostler and Cantlay. I don't know where you went, but
UCLA.
Yeah. So that was a fun little tournament. A lot of like
that was a fun tournament.
They're out in
and then the Birdman. Woo!
That's right. I forgot about that.
That was a weird one. I was thinking, I was sitting here and I was like, we do this topic every week of where's the beds. And I was like sitting here on Sunday and I was going to text Bez, where are you this week? Because I literally had no idea where you were. So let's catch up. I was like, you know what? We'll just save for where you are on the show. Let's go ahead and do that now. Bez, where are we at?
Let's go.
I wanted the full experience. That was beautiful.
So this is my 5th time zone in as many weeks.
Oh,
jeez!
It's like a slap me in the face. We're in a really random spot this week, Evansville, Indiana. I'm like 2 minutes from Evansville University, the program that knocked off Kentucky in hoops last year.
The Purple
they
Aces.
Set the town on fire. Yeah, I'm right next to their campus. We're actually we're like 30 minutes east of Evansville. We're at Victoria National, the Tour Championship, baby. Time to play some good golf. Vic is incredible. I walked the front today. It's probably the best course we play this year. Not a blade of grass out of place. Definitely could host the PGA Tour event, no doubt about it. They're a member of the Dormy Network, which is pretty cool. There's some pretty elite tracks that are in that membership. But yeah, it's random. Indiana, you don't think about it having necessarily great golf, even though they do have some good courses, like French Lick and what's the other one? Where did John Daly win?
Crooked Stick?
Crooked Stick, thank you.
Oh, you're talking about Indiana, not Dormy Club?
My bad. Yeah, Crooked Stick. Thanks, Jack. So yeah, that's like one of the other good tracks up here. But yeah, Victoria National's really, really good. So yeah, that's where I'm at this week. I got the sticks. Hopefully I can, get out somewhere. Maybe this Wednesday we have a light practice day.
Yeah, you could go. I think there's isn't it Pete Dye Club that's around there too?
Yeah, that's another one. Yeah, I think.
You got an emergency 9 holes in Ohio this week.
I did, yeah. That was sick, man. Dublin's a good little golf town. Really, really good. Little suburb of Columbus, right by Muirfield. Played the Golf Club of Dublin. Snuck in, I think, 14.
You love to see that.
Yeah, the old Twilight, get as many as you can in rate. So that was fun. I had the shanks, though. I couldn't get off the tee.
We don't say that.
I did. I had them. I mean, it was awful. I couldn't get off the tee. I could hit everything else but the driver.
We had Shane talking about the yips earlier today. Now you're talking about the shanks. We can't do that.
Scalp and I have an important round on Tuesday morning, and this is the words that are being thrown around.
You guys have played Bostic plenty of times, so I'm not worried.
That's not what we're worried about.
Worried about my dignity. All right, Scalp. There weren't any really weird rulings this week, I don't think. So take it away in a normal sense for us.
This is where we think he grounded it there. Now the ruling has just come in. 2-shot penalty. Wow.
His speed has been terrible. Whoa. Wow. That's stunning.
I mean, I don't know what he was doing, playing, building sandcastles in the sand. But I guess the Astros are going through that right now. Jim Crane said it. When he got asked, "Is it cheating?" and he said, "No, we just broke the rule."
Yeah. So the darkness thing, was it darkness?
It kind of got really dark at the end of the event on Sunday. It got it was almost, I guess it's kind of like the fog situation we talked about last week, but it got really, really. I feel like the cameras didn't really do it justice at the end of that.
Did someone elect to not finish? I didn't watch the end of the tournament.
I didn't watch it.
No, they were just so there was an hour delay, hour 15 delay, and then they were out there and they were moving. They were like the guys in the fairway hit, and literally as they started walking, DJ ripped right after him because they were running out of time. And I'm not waking up at 6:30 to go play a hole and a half or whatever. Yeah.
No. Yeah, that goes into the rule that we talked about last week. So anytime you start a hole, if they blow the air horns due to darkness or whatever, you can finish the hole that you're on, assuming you have a marker with you. So it's kind of the deal, but I guess they didn't really have to worry about that, luckily. Most people just want to finish the round. You're not coming back in the morning, but Rule 6 is the rule that we're on, which is playing a hole, not playing around, playing a hole now. So specific to starting the hole, finishing it, using one particular golf ball throughout the hole. Big things being you have to know what the teeing area is. And Kieran, I think you explained that a couple of weeks ago, whenever it was. So what's the teeing area?
So the teeing area is not necessarily the tee box as it's manicured on the course, but it's defined by the 2 tee markers and 2 club lengths back. So that imaginary rectangle.
Exactly. Yeah, you're exactly right. Starting from the front of those tee markers to front and outside points of those tee markers, 2 club lengths back. And those 2 club lengths being specific to the person that has those 2 club lengths, kind of interesting. But so we'll get into starting the hole, and then we'll get into order of play. Order of play is also in this, which order of play really only means anything in match play, in all honesty. In stroke play, everyone kind of plays ready golf. At least you should. That way you're not playing in 5.5 hours. But But so we'll get into starting a hole. Starting a hole, the rulings will be a little different with stroke play versus match play, but we'll say that we're all playing stroke play. And then Kieran tees off from in front of the tee markers, doesn't realize it. And then Ben and I, we kind of turn around and notice, oh, Kieran, you teed off from in front of the tee markers. What's the ruling here? What does Kieran have to do? Are there any penalties? What's the issue? Ben, what are you thinking?
I think there is a penalty. I feel like he may have to re-tee. And I think it's going to be he'll be hitting, he'll be hitting 3 on the tee box again. That's my ruling. If he teed off incorrectly, I believe he has to re-tee and is hitting 3 as long as you catch it before he hits his second shot.
Okay. All right, Jack.
I don't know what happens if you catch it after the second shot, or if that's I don't know. But that's my ruling for after the tee shot.
First thing that comes to mind is Andrew Scalf saying, "Yeah, and that's playing from a wrong place, and according to the rules of golf, that's a standard penalty where you have to go back and actually play from the right place." So I'm actually guessing you're teeing off and hitting 4, Ben, because say for example, that first stroke probably counts, and then standard penalty, and you're probably teeing 4. That's just my thought.
Okay. Beds?
Yeah, I agree with Murph. I think he summed it up pretty well. I think logically that just kind of makes the most sense, even though the golf rules aren't always based upon logic, as we know. But yeah, I agree with Murph. I think it's you're playing 3 there, re-teeing.
All right, Kieran.
I think this might be the first time that 3 of us have agreed on an answer ever. So I'll keep it short and sweet. I'm going to go with 2-stroke penalty, re-tee, and you're hitting your 3rd.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, so you guys are exactly right. And Jack, I love what you were saying too, because you're also correct. It's just you're hitting your third stroke. We don't technically call it playing from the wrong place because you haven't started the hole. You don't start the hole until you tee off from the teeing area. So technically you haven't even started the hole there. So that ball that you hit doesn't count. It's not in play. You just get a 2-stroke penalty and stroke play for that. It doesn't count. If you continue to play that ball throughout the hole, all of those strokes do not count. None of those strokes that you're playing count. You still have to go back and re-tee, hitting your third shot from the correct tee, and then finishing out. If you don't fix that mistake before teeing off on the next hole, you're disqualified. You're done for the day, which some people don't realize because they'll tee off just from the wrong tees, set of tees, like the white tees instead of the blues. That's kind of where it's most common. Pretty simple. But now match play is going to be a little different. So now we got Beds and Jack playing a match against each other. Jack goes tees off. They're playing from the black tees. Tees off, smokes it right down the middle. Beds isn't really paying attention. He's grabbing his club, and Jack walks down to his bag, putting his stuff in his bag. Beds tees up on the blue tees, not the black tees, and tees off. Then Jack turns around, notices Beds teed off from the wrong tee markers. He tells Beds, hey, you teed off from the wrong tee markers. What's the situation here? Does something need to happen? Is there a penalty involved? What needs to go on? Kieran, let's hear it.
I am going to go with this is a loss of hole penalty.
Okay.
I feel like most of the time where in stroke play, there's just your standard penalty applied. That in match play, it's a loss of hole penalty is applied.
Okay.
Yeah, I think the same thing, except for the exception of you can't be disqualified if you guys don't notice it, and you can tee off on the next hole. I think he loses the hole as well.
All right, Beds.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like that just, again, makes the most logical sense, in my opinion.
Okay. All right, Jack, let's hear it.
Just going to go out on a limb and
I love it. I love this guy, man.
I'm doubling down, baby, on 12. Let's go. Let's just say Beds can re-tee if I let him re-tee or whatever. I don't know.
What a guy.
And I'll let you re-tee, Beds. I feel like, you didn't mean to do it or whatever.
Hey, really quick.
Hitting 3 from the block.
Scalp, I'll never forget this. This was like, it wasn't a high school tournament, but I think it was like one of those North Florida junior events. And it was Slammer Squire. It was is 5 that short par 5 at Slammer? I think, no, I'm sorry. Is it 4?
It's one of those. I know what hole you're talking about.
Yeah, so it's the hole after the par 5. We were playing, like their tips are like black and the one-ups are blues. And I was playing this junior event, and we were basically playing one tee up the whole day, okay, like up to that point. And the tee box on that par 4 that's straight away with the water on the left, the tee, like the kid I was playing with, whatever, he just teed it up at the one-up tee like we were playing all day. Well, it turns out that was the wrong tee marker, and I played from it too. So we didn't look back and see the other tees were out. So he's like, well, what the hell? Like the kids in front of us played from here too. So I remember I made 7. Okay, whatever the hell the rules official told me. But I don't know what happened to the kids in front. I don't remember. But like he followed them, and then I followed him, and it was like a big train wreck. It just like everyone was playing for the wrong team.
That's tough.
It was so funny. I'll never forget that. That was my first taste of the rules of golf. It was like, ooh.
Oh man.
Oh, that's so tough.
Yeah.
Yes. So if he caught them in time, they should have corrected it. If he didn't,
I don't remember how it all played out.
I'm sure since it was more the NFJG and it's not, super.
No, they're pretty laid back.
I'm sure they kind of.
I just played it for the cool golf courses we played for like $50.
Yeah, we got on some tracks, but okay. So, Jack, you're right. Kind of. So, in match play, just like we've kind of gone over many times, it's just you against the other person. That's all it is. That's the only thing that matters. So this is one of those rules that as long as you catch it, if you don't catch it, then you just don't catch it. But as long as you catch it, you can kind of decide, hey, you have to play that next shot, or hey, go back to the tee. So Jack could have technically looked at where Beds' ball went. If he was in the junk, he'd say, Beds, you're playing that shot. You're playing that ball. That's where you're playing your second from.
He's in full control.
Yeah, Jack's in full control.
I like that. That's good.
Or Jack could say, Beds, you smoked it down the middle. You're going back to the tee that you're supposed to play from and re-teeing. So it's completely Jack's decision here. There's no penalty involved. If Jack doesn't realize it and you guys continue to walk up, no penalty involved. Jack should have known. Beds also should have known, but Jack should have seen that as well. So it's one of those weird instances in match play, or one of the many, I should say, where it's just kind of player against player, and you guys kind of decide the rule yourselves. But Jack, in that instance, you can kind of decide, hey, either tee it up or continue playing.
Interesting.
So yeah, kind of funny. But now we're going to get into order of play. Order of play being the one other thing in this rule that is somewhat important.
I enjoy this. This is going to be good.
It'll be interesting. But like I said, stroke play doesn't really matter. It's suggested in the rules to play in the correct order in stroke play, but it's not necessary. There's no penalties against not doing it. So we'll talk about match play just because that's all that really matters. And then just so you guys know, if someone plays out of order in match play, it's the same exact ruling that we just had. You can either decide to cancel that player's stroke and make them replay, or you can say, hey, play on. That's completely up to the other player. So now we're going to get into this where Beds and Jack will keep it the same guys. We're playing a match, playing, we'll say, a dogleg left par 4 with water on the left. So water's on the left. They both hit their shots middle of the fairway, hitting their second shots, playing the correct order. Jack hits a big draw, so the ball ends up landing only 5 yards short of the green in the penalty area. Way up there, it last crossed about 20 yards away from the green. Well, Beds hits one dead straight into the penalty area. It doesn't cross, but like 10 yards in front of him. But it ends up landing only about 2 feet short of the green in the penalty area. Doesn't cross. So we're gonna say Beds' ball lies in the penalty area a little closer to the flagstick than Jack's, but Jack's crossed further up. Whose turn is it to play?
Oh man,
whose turn is it to play?
This is tough.
Jack, we'll let you go first. I feel like you're gonna rock this one.
The balls in the fairway were in the same spot.
That's irrelevant at this point, but
okay.
we'll say they were. We'll say they were both 150 yards out.
Okay.
So Bed's ball crossed further back
away
than mine did, but his lies closer to the hole.
In the penalty area, it's in deep water. You're not playing it. Neither of them are playable.
But he's closer to the hole?
Correct.
Okay. I think that I would play second.
Okay. All right. Beds? You going first or second?
It's a good one. I mean, for the sake of the argument, I'll go second. I don't really have any rhyme or reason for that. I mean, usually whatever I think's right is wrong with these rules. So I'm going to say Jack's playing first. I'm playing second.
Okay.
I don't know.
All right, Ben, you seem confident.
Yeah, I think Beds plays first. I think where he crossed is further away than where Jack crossed. He's further from the hole. And he's up.
Okay.
Let's see. I'm going to go with so obviously the rule is whoever's farther from the hole plays first. So once Beds and Jack both drop their ball to play another ball, those are now the balls that are live and in play, and Beds is farther away. So I'm going to go with that. But I think that if Beds' ball was playable in the penalty area and he's intending on playing that one, and Jack has to drop, then Jack would play first because Beds is playing his first balls in play.
Okay. Yeah. So really, we have to just completely forget about where these balls are as far as being playable versus not playable. If they're on the golf course being anything that's not out of bounds, really, we're just taking sole distance. We know where those balls lie. We just can't play them right now, but we know where they lie. So technically Jack's further away, so he plays first in this instance.
Wow.
No matter what he decides to do. If he decides to do stroke and distance, if he decides to drop all the way up where he was, no matter what, it's Jack's turn to play. Then Beds, again, you have those same options. You can either, go back to where you last played, drop it with all those other options that we have, yada, 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 we all know. And those new distances don't matter. Jack's still first to play since his ball technically was farther away from the hole than Beds was. So here we can agree to speed up play because Beds will likely have to play from further away. Just from the sounds of it, Beds and Jack could say, "Hey, Beds, like you go first, just to speed up play." Beds could say, "Okay, that's fine. We'll agree to that," and they've agreed to it, and they'll do that. But technically, Jack plays first.
So I would have
nailed
said,
it.
Yeah. All right. Sometimes it's not logical, and that's what we've.
That's right.
Well, that one is, you just have to remember that you're on the golf course. You're on the golf course. The ball's on the golf course. It's distance. That's all that matters.
Yeah. See, I would have thought it's measured by the ball that's actually in play, but I guess both balls are in play until Jack elects to remove it from play. Gotcha. Makes sense.
So we'll get into more of that, when a ball's in play versus when it's not, and all that. That kind of tells you, those rules kind of tell you a lot about all of the other rules that we've already talked about and are going to talk about. So yeah, that's kind of interesting, but cool.
All right, boys, let's head back to the professional game where we make our picks. 2 more weeks. Then we will be done with our picks for the interesting 2020 season, but we are at the BMW Championship at the great golf city that is Chicago. Absolutely loaded. Olympia Fields, the site of this week's event, BMW Championship. Justin Thomas, the defending champion. Stacked field. All the guys are playing. It's going to be good. Dustin Johnson back to world number 1. It's going to be a fun week. Let's make some picks, though. Kieran, have you thought about it at all?
I have. I was really just trying to go with a guy I haven't picked yet. I looked at a guy towards the top of the FedEx Cup standings and who had a good result last week, so I'm going with John Rahm.
He closed hard, too, I think.
T6
Sunday.
last week.
Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. Jack?
Yeah, it's been a good couple weeks for me with the picks. A little solo second and then a first.
He's on a heater.
I'm going Kevin Kisner this week.
Oh,
honestly, I thought about that one, but
he's playing well.
Couldn't pick a Bulldog.
I like Kiz. I was either Kiz or Harris English, so I went with the one I like.
Double downing.
I just wanted to throw this out there. I don't know if anyone's going to pick it, but number one, they haven't played the BMW at this course in a long time.
Yeah.
The last time they played at this course, little 2015 U.S. Amateur, Bryson DeChambeau defeats Derek Bard 7-6.
That was my pick for that reason. I did my research.
Oh, there you go, Bets.
I don't even like Bryson, but I was going with that.
Oh,
thanks, Jack. I appreciate that, though.
So Bed's going Bryson.
Sorry for your thunder.
I got to swerve then, don't I? All right.
Oh, that was good.
Galf, what do we think?
Yeah, so I just looked at my phone just to see who I wanted to pick. I try to find someone that was just outside the top 30 who I think is going to play well. I have no idea if they will, obviously. Gary Woodland. And I do like. I can. That's someone I can root for. So
I know you love Gary. I'm trying to find Gary Woodland on my stat sheet. Oh, I got him. Let's see what he's done as of late. Well, he's played better. He missed the cut at the Northern Trust, 58th at the PGA, 57th at the FedEx. But it's his time, says Andrew Scala.
It's coming.
Oh man, I feel like every guy I've picked has been like behind the curve. Like I pick them like the week after they've done well, or the week before. Like I'm not on top of my picks, and I really do like the suggestion that Jack made of Daniel Berger. But instead, I'm going to go with the hot hand, and I'm going to go with Webb Simpson. I'm gonna roll with it. I think I need to make some money, and he's got 2 top 6s in his last 2 events. He's obviously been a machine in the restart, but. We're going Webby. Yeah, no one went DJ. I find that maybe it's hard, man. It's hard to win 2 weeks in a row.
You can't.
Yeah, but this course is a bomber's course, man.
Still, that's so hard.
He was 30 under. He's gonna go 31 under this week.
I hope so.
Depends on how he's feeling.
Depends how the back is doing.
He probably got back to world number 1 and said, "You know what? I'm just gonna." He may not even play a practice round.
He'll mail it in for the week.
He's gonna show it and go it, man. Show and go. For sure.
Show and go. Oh, I love it. Do we want to talk courses in the area? What do we want to do?
Yeah. So we're normally during this segment we highlight some courses, but we're gonna kind of mix in a little local trivia every once in a while. So this week, obviously, the tour is at Olympia Fields. So Olympia Fields has hosted 5 major championships in its history. So I ask you guys,
oh boy,
what was the most recent major championship event, and who was the winner?
2003 U.S. Open, Jim Furyk.
Nailed it.
That was good. Yeah.
Dang, Ben. Wow, you
Nailed
absolutely nailed it. You need some bonus money in our pool for that one. That was
extra
tough.
$5.
We'll take it off my
Benjamin or something.
My guy not being in the field pick in week 1, and
Yeah, we'll cancel that out. We'll cancel that out. All right, our next
That
one,
was money.
Yeah, our next trivia question: who is the most recent major championship winner in the state of Illinois?
From the state of Illinois? Is that what you're saying?
The tournament played in the state of
Illinois.
Illinois.
Okay.
Marion Country Club.
So it's got to be
Marion's in
U.S.
Pennsylvania.
Open.
It's got to be Medina.
Pennsylvania.
It's got to be Medina.
Medina.
Who won?
I don't remember the last major there.
I don't. Was it a U.S. Open or PGA?
It was a PGA.
Didn't Tiger win there?
Yep, Tiger got it. 2006 PGA.
That was the point, right? He was pointing at it.
Yep. Yeah, you guys are on fire.
We came swinging today.
Yeah, you did. Yeah,
The Bens came swinging. Jack and I are just here for support.
Illinois could host a lot of major golf, though. I will say I went to the Ryder Cup at Medina, and Medina's got like one of those feels where it's like you step into the site and it's kind of like outworldly. I don't know. It's got like that super like, oh, I'm kind of in a weird.
You can like feel the aura of the place.
Yeah, it's got that feel. I haven't been to Olympia Fields, but Medina had that kind of vibe to it. I don't really know anything about Olympia Fields, to be honest with you.
Honestly, I don't either.
My buddy played there I think they have 36 out there. He played the other side like a couple months ago.
A lot of those Chicago clubs do. I think Medina has like 2 or 3 courses.
They do, yeah.
Yeah. So let's close this out with what is good this week. I really haven't thought about this at all.
I haven't either, but ours should be easy.
We'll just wing it.
What is good this week? I hope my good next week is really good.
I hope so.
And hopefully we're not teasing too much of something that could be a false promise on the show. But we've got good things coming here on the show. Good. Has anyone thought about it that wants to hop in and go first?
Yeah, I'll go first.
I'll go second.
Good. The Montana beer scene was actually pretty solid on vacation. Yeah, on vacation this past week in Montana.
I meant to ask you about that. How was the golf out there?
It was pretty solid, man. So I was in Big Sky, Montana. If you guys were following the account, maybe saw some pictures. Got 2 rounds in. First at Big Sky Resort Golf Course, public course in Big Sky, Arnold Palmer design. In pretty solid shape. Some cool holes out there. You got the mountain backdrop, pretty much the whole course. Fairly flat for a mountain course, though. The little town kind of sits in a valley, so it's not as not as much elevation as you would think playing in the mountains. But man, was that different on Friday? I played Yellowstone Club, and some probably 100 feet elevation changes on a few different holes.
That'll get you going there.
Yeah, hitting like 330-yard 2-irons and then 230-yard drivers, and yeah, it was awesome. In great shape.
It's fun.
Could see the mountains from everywhere. It was beautiful.
That's sweet. All right, Beds. Let's good this week.
Yeah, it's kind of repetitive. I mean, being on tour, I'm like new town every week, and I don't know what to expect, right? I mean, like Boise, Idaho, didn't have a clue. Boise was awesome. But yeah, Columbus, Ohio, great town. Ohio State, not too fond of them, but great college town. It was kind of weird seeing all the students on campus and seeing the horseshoe kind of dead. I think that's insane. But yeah, Columbus was great local beer, great food, great golf, pretty good people, just a clean town, good spot, really good destination to play golf. If you have some connections, there's got to be at least 30 private clubs within like an hour. It's insane. And they're good. They're really good. So I'd like to get back up there and knock it around a little bit.
Yeah. Jack?
I guess good for me was I played putt-putt this week, and man, that is a freaking blast.
Getting dialed in the creativity department.
I was 12 under. I had a
boy,
blast.
Jack.
Yeah, I mean, it honestly, like, if you can putt, you can play putt-putt. It's a simple so that's my good.
Scoffy boy?
So talking about always bring the sticks, I think my baby nephew has us beat with places he brings his golf clubs. He's only 1.5, and he takes his golf club everywhere. He doesn't know how to swing or anything.
Young.
But yeah, it's really pretty cool to see. He takes it on walks, takes it in the shower. He screams whenever my sister tries to take his club away. So, yeah, it's cool to see it. Obviously, he has no idea what that thing is. He just likes it. So, but hopefully my nephew becomes a golfer, even if he's not any good. It would be fun.
I'll carry his bag in like 24 years.
We'll work on it.
And my good is sometimes you just got to not be stubborn with your guns and try some stuff. I started putting cross-handed earlier this week. I was having trouble. I was having trouble on the greens. Needed a little something, and I'm rolling the rock all right now. So we're going to roll with the cross-hand for a couple weeks and see what happens. But so far, so good.
Bring that tomorrow, Ben.
Yeah, we'll see.
So
far, so good on the cross-hand. So far, so good.
There you go.
It might help because I'm actually right-handed, so it's like it might be.
Maybe you should chip cross-handed.
No, don't do that.
Who invented the
Ben
claw?
needs to try anything and everything.
I don't know who
chip one-handed. One-handed works. Me and Matt were doing that.
It does.
Did that for an hour today. Just one-handed chips, just to find that.
I told Ben to chip on his right foot, just his right foot.
just flamingo it.
It kind of does help.
Yeah. No,
keeps you on your front side.
I'll take anything and everything. Text me, slide in my DMs, anything in the account, just if you guys got anything. But another week down, boys.
Yeah.